Hello, it is Dina. I am here to make a special video for my little brothers on Hope Crew and maybe around the world. Maybe you're not on my actual radar right now, but if you are working on this No Fap idea, and you're trying to do it for an extended period of time. I've seen many young men trying to do it for a year. I want us to have a talk about that. I want us to talk about what you think that you're trying to accomplish. I want you to think about what is it that you're trying to do and why you think this is good for you and for your body. And the reason I want to talk to you about that is because I have been a teacher of argument for 25, 30 years. And I've seen all the evidence. I have considered all of the religious implications. I have looked at data, and I've had personal experiences. And I will be 62 in 4 months from the day this video is being made. So little brothers, I'm talking to you. The reason that no fap is no good idea is because what you are doing is you are fetishizing your sexuality the same way as you do if you look at pornography all the time or if you do anything else. I want that is only concerned about sexuality. If you're a person who says, I like blondes, I like women with large breasts, I like this or that, what you are doing is you are taking a person and you are reducing that person to their very surface attributes that will not last. You are fetishizing a person. What you need to work on is you need to work on anti-fetishization of your sexuality. You need to bring your sexuality in line with your human nature. Withhold sex from yourself, withhold masturbation from yourself, just to the point that you can begin to fantasize about your future spouse, about your future life together, and your intimacy with that person. Imagine giving pleasure to that person. Now, when you can find yourself getting excited by thinking about bringing pleasure to someone else, now give over and give in to yourself and let these things become connected in your mind. Let it become so that your partner's pleasure is exciting to you. And then when you meet that man or woman of your dreams, you will really have something to offer that person. You will have yourself. You will already have learned what you like, what you don't like. You will be able to communicate your needs. You will be able to withhold when they need you to withhold, to give when they need you to give. If the only thing you ever learn how to do is to deny yourself and to fetishize your own sexuality, you think you want to try to control something that your body needs. Tell it, I'm going to live without water for 20 days. See how that goes. Say, you know what? I don't like this food or that food. Well, maybe you don't need it. But you can't live without food. Sexual release can be a very important thing to reduce stress, to get along well with people in the world, to get to know yourself better, to enjoy your own life in this world, to keep connected to yourself, to watch your own sense of fantasy, to be sure that you are not objectifying other people in your subconscious mind. Let me say that again. if the only sexual pleasure you're finding is in ideas of hurting someone else or subjugating someone else, that is absolutely the thing you're trying to stop, not the sexual release, right? You want to try to connect your feelings to positive, loving, high-functioning, adult sexual vibrations. Be a grown-up. Stop acting like you're a dog laying on the floor. That's not what it's about. It's not what it's about. And when you raise yourself to a higher level, which I think some of you are trying to do by denying yourself this, well, you're not doing anything. You're not raising yourself at all. You're keeping your body from getting something it needs. You're creating stress and conflict. You're raising your level of stress hormones. Just tell me, what do you think you're accomplishing? There is not one piece of physical data. There is no substantiation. In fact, newer studies done in the last 5 years, this is 2024 turning to 25, newer studies just done this last year show it can be very harmful. Prostate problems, all kinds of problems in your later life for trying to stop yourself up at this age. Honestly, there's a lot. Do your research. Number two, if you think you're doing it on some kind of religious ground, I don't know what your religious book might be, but let me tell you what the Christian Bible says about it. There's only one man who speaks against it, and that is Paul. And Paul is not Jesus, no matter how much he thought he was or wanted to be. And I will be speaking to that on Christmas Eve. If you don't believe all of the Bible, I will be talking to you on Christmas Eve. Because Paul is not right. There's a couple of writers in the Bible that are kind of messed up. They would be Trump Republicans if they were alive today. And I invite you to study the Bible with me and come to your own conclusions, but at least be sure you've studied it. So, honestly, and in Paul's thing, it's all about having children. He thinks you should only, and listen, Paul was writing in a time, so there's this whole history of the Roman Empire where men were having more homosexual relations than they were, and with their mistresses and with prostitutes in religious houses. They would not have sex with their own wives. And so Rome was falling because there was nobody to inherit property. Roman law said that it had to be your wife's child, your wife's male child would inherit your property. And the men were out having sex with everything but their wife. So they didn't want to. That's why this is written. Don't spread your seed on the ground. Take it home to your wife and make a baby out of it. There's so many things in the Bible that are just contextually written for that time and for that population and for that particular situation. So I don't know about your own book. I don't know the Quran. I don't know any of that stuff. I know the Bible, honey. I was raised in the South. I'm an American Southern girl from North Carolina. I know my Bible. I've read it at least 3 times. Plus, I've studied it. I've taught at a Christian university, and I was forced over and over and over to re-examine my beliefs and over again to provide evidence and data. Check it. Check me. Try it. It's not there. So ask yourself, why do you think this is such a bad thing? Why do you want to change it? Isn't it just your brain? Are you worried because you're associating it with pornography or with offensive acts towards women? That's a different thing. That's a different thing. That's a different thing. Learn to connect the good and the good, and learn to disconnect the good from the bad, and learn which parts are good and which parts are bad. And that's your job. And I love you, little brothers, and I'm sorry if I've had to unsubscribe from you, and I hope you understand. I'm giving you a big shout out. Take care. Love you guys.